fears.
Okay, so finally, we're back for episode 4.
Episode 4. I didn't know we would make it this far.
You know, I really didn't foresee it either. We're early yet late.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Our episode's supposed to come out Sunday, but you know, we had to
we were fighting.
We had to take care of something.
We fist fought.
Yeah, in the street, barefoot.
In the studio, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Just like on Love and Hip Hop. The camera should have been there.
So, I'm Kai.
I'm James. And I won, by the way.
This is the awful,
terrible,
just egregiously
inflammatory
podcast. This show, I just want to speak about how I feel about the show at this point, because I think that I've been having a good time doing this, and, you know, seeing the support has been something that's, like, I don't know, just, like, extremely motivating for me. So, like, I know I said this at the end of the last episode, but just thanks to everybody out there that gives a fuck, because you helped me give a fuck, too.
Yeah.
So... Thanksgiving's
coming up.
It is this week.
That's the only reason why I'm alive right now, to be honest. I've been waiting to eat some good food.
What's the dish you're trying to get to the quickest?
You know, I told my parents that this year it was mandatory to have macaroni and cheese, because they like to play around and act like that's not always mandatory.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, because my parents are so, you know, bougie and shit, you know, they want to act like they can't eat a good old pot of macaroni and cheese. But I told my dad, like, go out, get the aluminum tins, get the noodles, get the cheese. And he tried to get shredded cheese and shit. And I'm like, no. We got to get the cubes. Like, we have to get bricks of cheese. And he's like, you know, okay.
That powdery shit.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, we have to really come with it. We have to come hard, and we have to bake that shit, and it's got to be solid. I want to be able to cut a slice of macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, like a slice of cake.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to the macaroni and cheese. Honestly, I'm looking forward to everything, because we make everything.
I need my mac and cheese to be thick with 2 C's like Chanel.
Like, okay.
No joke. Like,
absolutely.
But
that bitch got to be thick, or I don't want it.
Those of y'all that don't know, my birthday usually falls around sometimes on Thanksgiving. This year it is the day before, so I am anticipating.
Hold on, let me put that in my calendar.
Bitch, listen. Look, I'm excited for the week just because fucking this semester has been whipping my ass, like, and like I said, I'm going to Chicago next weekend. I'll be in Chicago, and I'm gonna be having a good time. So you know, I'm ready to really get buck wild.
Yeah. About to get buck wild in this bitch.
Right.
Remember that girl name was Becky for real? That's wild.
Of course it was.
That's wild. And she really wasn't even like a wigger for real. Like,
ain't she like in real life like a assistant manager at Deb or something?
Yes. Like she works at a Deb's or some shit like that.
For real. Becky, look.
If you're listening to this, Becky, we support you, but you have to be yourself. That's why, like, Dad almost beat your ass on the show for real.
She looked like she don't brush her tongue.
No. She, you know, if you're from our city and you've ever been to Burton Heights, occasionally you'll bump into a bitch that acts just like that. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Or that little Catch Me Outside girl. But I feel like she's a little bit more about it than Becky was.
Do you know, I know exactly who we know that is that girl, and I'm not going to say her name on this show. But
I don't know her.
Anyway, listen. Okay, so, let's get into what the fuck we're here to do, because
I'm screaming.
Before we stir up some local
drama.
Some local mess.
It's okay, because I'm not local, bitch. You can't find me anywhere. You got to come. You got to have the access code to the gate. So you can't find me nowhere. It's fine.
So what do we have today, James?
First thing on the docket, have you been paying attention to the music business, the female hip-hop game, which we are always in tune to?
It's hard not to pay attention. I mean, I feel like because... I'm not going to say because of any one specific reason, but me and you are especially tuned in to female rap. But I feel like female rap still, in general, is like this hot topic in today's like media. Like, there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
I love it, but then I hate it.
Yeah, me too. I love the concept of female rap, but I hate the way that it's actually being executed. I love I think after a while you kind of get I think anybody really kind of gets tired of like listening to niggas talk about the same shit, and it's like I've always been interested in hearing, you know, like what's a female's perspective on, you know, this take, you know, what are queer people's perspectives on these different things that are going on around them. So it's like I'm always here to hear the music of people who are marginalized within the Black community. So of course, you know, female rap, but lately on the female rap circuit, the big news, okay, is Kimberly Blanco and Reminisce Refrigerator Mackie have decided to put out their video and their song for, is it Back to Sleep? What is it?
James, listen.
Set my timer.
Okay.
Set my alarm clock. What is it called? Oh. No, that's not it. It's not taking
I don't even know where the fuck to start with this video. Like, okay, first of all, the song is bad. Like, it's...
You know, let's unpack that.
The song is just bad. Okay, so here's why it's bad. It's bad because it could have been better. Let's start there.
Yeah.
With the concept of Remy Ma and Lil' Kim getting together and doing a record together, that was something that had potential just as a concept within itself. And I think that the way that this was executed was so poor and just like there was no consciousness around the way that this record sounds. Like, I feel like they were like, okay, let's just do this. We'll get in the studio and, you know what I'm saying, lay down whatever the, like, I don't know who came up with, I feel like Kim came up with the hook, honestly, but it sounds like
a neo-negro slave spiritual to me.
It's like post-prison Kim.
Yeah, it's like,
maybe that's why it's bad. Maybe because they're both in their post-prison.
I don't like. Oh, that makes sense. I hope Nicki never goes to jail, because, well,
imagine Nicki Minaj going to jail. I would scream.
Yeah, she would be shaking in her boots, for real.
Yeah.
I'm screaming.
Imagine Nicki Minaj without a lace front. Wow.
She has hair, though.
I mean... She
has hair. Remember, did you see the Looking Ass Nigga video with the ponytail?
Fine, okay.
That stiff ponytail that she had to keep pulling up, like, we're not going to act like it's stiff. We're not going to play that. We're not going to play that shit. I'm just holding it. It's not really stiff, for real.
So, okay, so one of the other reasons why I dislike the song is I think that the production is really bad. They use this really heavy Queen Bitch sample. And I think
it's so heavy that you can't do anything, but it's like a karaoke, really.
Yes, yes. It's almost like a cover of the song, but it's like they remastered the drums or something on it to like, and it's not bad. In sync with the sample. Like,
and I also don't like that Remy didn't choose to be original with her flow.
Yeah.
It kind of killed me that she just did the Queen Bitch flow. Like, she's like, the first line is literally the same. Like, and it kind of like threw me off. And I don't necessarily like the way that I feel like, you know, this is your first release on Columbia. Columbia is a pretty prestigious label, you know, with artists like Beyonce on the label. And I'm just disappointed at the quality of music, but I've always been disappointed with Remy's quality of music, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, she's
great on features,
a great musician, and I mean,
she's a great lyricist.
But here's the thing: even with this song, the lyrics are not impressive. They're not like creative, like you said. She's basically, you know, what do you call it? Interpolation, of the same flow of what Kim did on Queen Bitch, and I'm just like. It was just boring to me. Kim with this hot breath hum on the hook. I feel like it's just too much for me. Like, I'm like, Kim, what are you doing?
It wasn't good. And I kind of wanted her to rap, and it just kind of like she wasn't rapping, and I'm just like, okay, so Remy brought her into the studio to just do a hook. And this is kind of like where I'm just like...
She said on Hot 97 that she might do a remix with her doing a verse.
I hate that she does that, though, because she always has done that in her career. Like, she'll do a hot song and have somebody else do the whole song. Like, she did a Crush on You, and then she'll release the verse, and it'll be better. And then it's like, I got to go through and find a fucking, you know, song because it's not on the album. Like, it's just too much. Like, it's like, okay, Kim, but you should have did that in the first place. You should have did that the first time. And I really kind of feel like it's very true. I don't really like Kim's style now.
I mean, she put out a song that was better than this one, though.
But I was gonna say that Kim did put out what is it called? Took Us a Break, and the video was much better than the video for Remy's song.
And I don't even understand how, because both of these videos are obviously low budget as fuck,
but you can work a low budget. It's in the artistry of the person to work a low budget. Kim's there were some parts that I'm just like, they don't need to be in here. Like the little girls with the bleeding eyes and shit. I'm like, okay, I feel like you're trying to be creative and it's not working. Like, because it makes no sense.
It's coming off forced.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, okay, that was a lot. But the song itself was actually kind of cute. It's just like, I don't like...
The lyrics were dope. Like, I was like, okay,
I just don't
Kim's
like this.
rapping.
I don't like the style. Like, of her.
No,
now.
it's not for her. But I think that Kim...
I like her as what she's been doing. And like we've said, like I've talked to my sister about this, and we were saying, you know, Kim doesn't need to release any more music. Like, realistically, that's not a necessity. But it's like, we as a culture don't necessarily need an iconic rapper to start doing what is trendy. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
my thing. That's specifically my thing with Kim,
with
though.
what you've been doing because that works for you.
I feel like with Kim, and she does this so openly, like positions herself as somebody that is chasing a sound. Like she is the person that's trying to follow the mainstream sound. And it's so crazy to me because she is an icon. She is, you know what I'm saying, somebody that is a pioneer of the industry, and you really should be, I mean, you could lead the sound if you really wanted to in female rap, and people would listen to you because you had that merit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, if she was to, you know, this is a really reaching comparison, but like in a way that Beyonce has been in the game for a long ass time, and she still makes moves to lead the sound in a way, because if Beyonce was trying to chase the same sound that's on the radio, if she was trying to write these songs that sound like the songs that Taylor Swift has charting, or fucking Katy Perry, or whatever the hell, like she could be doing that, but everything that you see that Beyonce does is kind of like a step in a different direction. And I feel like Kim could be doing that with rap in a way.
She could.
But she constantly is like
let
trying
me
to
get on to this too.
Emulate her Young Thugger impression.
Yeah, and
on
it's like,
fucking...
let me get with these, like you said, like let me get with these young people flat out. And it's just like, you know, you don't need to involve yourself in this mess, okay? And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm, you know, anti-mumble rap or anything like that, because I think that shit slaps too, but...
It's just not her.
No, I think that she's, like, really... You know, you have a specific power. You know, when you came out, you were doing, like, the Biggie interpolation, and, like, you were... you had that, like, flow, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah, and it's just, like, you... don't do that anymore, and now it's like, and people have been saying, you know, it's too nasal for me or whatever. I don't think she can help that, but it's just sort of like,
no, I don't think that Kim has a functioning nose at this point.
Okay,
I think she has a prosthetic.
She just.
It's like a prop. Like,
it's a prop. It's just there for decoration.
Basically. Okay. It's an accessory of a nose.
But it's like, she doesn't, you know, I love when she's in her lower register. I do. When she raps down there.
But not when it sounds like morning breath.
No.
Because
that was too much.
No.
Because that just sounded like, you know, when that came in, I'm just like, see, that sounds like when somebody wake up and they try to kiss you. You're like, no, that's not for me. It just wasn't. It was very underwhelming. I think that's all. So Remy, my advice to Reminisce: get a better stylist. Because, and I'm, you know what, Remy?
Take away a stylist.
That's what I was just gonna say. I am so sick of the hype. You're so hypercritical. You know, you had the audacity. I'm striking that. You had the audacity to sit on there, freestyle, and say, take away their stylist. They don't know what style is. And I've been fly since junior high. And you, the biggest bird on Sesame Street. I hate her
so much.
It's like, how you talking about style, and every time I see you, you look a mess. You need a new stylist. Like, you need somebody who, like, actually likes you to style you.
You know what's crazy to me is, like...
Because they be fucking you up. I'm sorry.
How Kim... okay, so Kim... She just looks so interesting these days. And I'm not even going to go into why that is, you know what I'm saying? And in the history with the relationships and everything. Like, that's a complicated matter. But Kim...
That's not fair. I feel like that's not a fair thing to talk about.
It's not fair, but Kim used to be that deal.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not even trying to... I know you don't think Kim used to be that cute back in the day.
I have since changed my position. She had a very cute time up until, I think, the Naked Truth era. I didn't like the Naked Truth nose. I just didn't like the...
That was late, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like...
Once we hit Naked Truth, I was like... That's where
when Kim came out and...
Looks-wise.
Was like... And Missy Elliott spoke on this, you know what I'm saying, a few times in Rumor They was in her mentions, like, calling her all types of fucking apes and ridiculous shit.
That's not funny.
This bitch ain't
That's
been.
not funny. It just hit me.
I mean, they call her type of fucking fat black bitches, and I'm like,
they call me the same thing.
I mean, they're very rude.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
NIcki
just-
fans don't have shit else to do.
Missy Elliott ain't been fat since like 07, but okay.
She has Graves' disease. That's not funny, you know.
But Missy Elliott was
She's
saying
sick.
that, you know, Kim was one of the very first, like, especially in a femme perspective, to merge like high fashion with like hip hop. Because when she came
Yes.
up with Biggie in that era of 90s hip hop, that was like one of the first eras of hip hop where rappers were able to make like
Money.
shit ton of money
Yeah.
off of doing this rap shit and not just like selling mixtapes,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and little cassette tapes here and there. You know what I'm saying? So like, that bitch came up with high fashion name brand, you know what I'm saying?
And she could afford it.
Everything, and it was like iconic, and I don't see
No one else is gonna. Everything that was the blueprint. That set a blueprint.
I think people take it for granted now.
Yeah, and it's and people don't understand, and especially the younger fans, don't understand how powerful that was. You know, to see a black woman, like, you know,
And
not like
fucking
a
emotional
passively
fucking
white
mink.
woman, right? Like a black woman that you could not argue about her being black, or you know, and that's why there was so much like attention, you know, to have those moments. I mean, Kim was doing David LaChapelle shoots, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was having Mac campaigns. Like,
Yes.
Kim was that girl, you know what I'm saying? And it's just sort of like, I understand what you mean when you're saying, like, the aesthetic is different because you almost feel like, in a way, it's gone down. But I don't know if it's necessarily gone down as much as it's just been normalized.
Yeah, I think people expect
Because
it.
everybody's doing it.
So,
Like,
I don't-
everybody's doing the fur coats and the long hair.
Right.
And the, you know, and the designer brands. It's like...
Because everybody got to be Instagram model. But I mean,
Well...
I guess...
And now you don't even have to be a rapper to do that shit.
I
You
only
just
bring
have
that
to
up because
be
it
pretty,
kind
really.
of disappoints
Not
me
even.
to see the lack of influence that Kim
Yeah.
has, like, in this
I
specific
think somebody needs
situation.
to really, like, just tell her, like, you just need to do what you've been doing. You don't, don't worry about numbers, don't worry about attention. Put out music to the people who want to hear you, because this shit, like, is not...
But anybody
it's not
that's
working.
followed Kim's career will tell you that Kim has always been insecure, and
Yeah,
that
it's-
is something that I feel like it's a shame because I don't get why somebody close to her don't.
But
you
I
tell
feel
her
like-
listen, you need to fucking look in the mirror
Yeah.
and recognize who the fuck you are and stop acting like you need to be trying to follow some train. That
We need a Yana Van Zant, like, just for female rappers, because I feel like every female rapper is insecure, like, except maybe Cardi B.
Okay, so
Cardi B's like maybe the only one that I'm sort of like, you might not have any problems, but Remi's definitely insecure. Nicki's insecure as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Like,
But the industry does this to women, so
it
let's not
does.
take that into
No, it's like,
consideration.
but that's also another thing that I'm saying. It's like, have you seen that show? I think it's what's his name, Rick Ross, and he's like he was auditioning like females to be the first lady of his
saw
label.
a muted clip
Yeah.
of something along the
And
lines
it's just
of
sort
that.
of like, you saw how this shit worked. Like, it was a couple girls that were going up. One of the girls was stacked, you know, she had a little waist. The music was trash. It was straight, it was horrible. But they were like, I'm feeling you, you know, like, I'm really feeling your vibe. Other girl came through, little dark-skinned girl with twists, you know, like, she has a degree in things. Like, you know, the little black girls that be on college campuses. That's what she looked like. But
Okay.
the music was great. The song it slapped for real. Like, I'm not trying to be violent, but it slapped, you know. And he said that's just not it. Like, he turned her into fucking SYRE right there. He was just like, nah,
that's not it.
And we was all like, well, what the fuck is going on? And I just feel like, you know, they really kind of do this thing where they, like, men are the poison in female rap. Like,
Basically.
I mean men, period. Like, I don't care. Any man is, like, bringing toxicity into female rap. And it's just like, this shit is annoying. It's very tired, you know, because I feel like, you know, when you see powerful moments like Ladies Night, you know, like, shit like that, you see these women getting together and supporting one another, and then you kind of wonder, like, well, what the fuck is going on behind the scenes? Like, I don't believe that any female rapper is really, that talks about female unity as much as all of these bitches do. Because all of them get out there and say, it's important for women to be, you know, united. And then 5 seconds later, it's like, fuck Nicki Minaj, are you dumb? You're a pink wearing chicken wing shirt. It's like, well, what the where did this come from?
You know.
And then it's like, you know, stay in your bum ass duplex. It's international group sex. Like, what the fuck is this about? Like, where y'all coming from? I don't understand. It's like, what niggas are telling y'all.
The only thing with, like, what's been happening, I feel like, and how it's made me feel is, like, you know, female rap already excites me, you know, and you know, even the way that certain artists tend to carry it out, like, I'm like, okay, I get it. If you're gonna beef with this girl, you're gonna beef with that girl. It's gonna be whatever, fine, you know. But I think that just a simple possibility that these female rap collabs could be happening again, like in the new age of music and hip hop, it gives me hope.
It
like,
does.
It really makes me hope
because now there's more. You know,
yes,
Remy's out of prison. Kim is out of hiding. Nicki's out of options.
You are so stupid.
Cardi is literally out of the strip club.
Right.
You know, Trina's on a show now, so Khia is out of a job.
You know,
so,
we could talk about
I feel like Khia's gonna be in the next Nicki album. Is that petty? I feel like she is though. I'm getting a vibe.
I really hope that
it'll be a little speaking portion. I feel like Khia might have like a little Erykah Badu moment on NM4.
Maybe she'll do like a reference.
Yeah,
like she
or
does.
Like like Anaconda. Lick it now. Suck
yeah,
this pussy just like you.
I don't know.
Like I feel that would be cute.
I think that we were going to talk about the Eve situation, right?
Speaking of let's watch that female rappers.
So
Eve has a job now.
Other than
is it on the View? What is it on? The Real?
The Talk.
Okay, sure.
The Talk.
That's a show.
It's the only person I know that's on that show is Sharon Osbourne.
Oh, that's that one with Whoopi Goldberg.
No, that's The View.
That's Cheryl Underwood. My bad.
Is Cheryl Underwood on The Talk?
Yeah.
Look, I couldn't tell you.
That's when she took her wig off.
Oh, okay.
Because she said that, you know, that's when she'd be up there talking about how natural black women don't need to wear their hair natural and shit like that. But Eve was supposed to replace Aisha Tyler on Funny Ass. That's basically what it was.
Okay, so somebody hired Eve as a
I just know she played that crazy bitch on the Boondocks. I don't know what else Aisha Tyler did.
You don't think that that episode is so hilarious?
Yeah, but I feel like she wasn't funny. I feel like Regina King was funny. Like, was it Regina King?
Tashina Arnold. Regina
Arnold. It was Tashina Arnold.
But...
and she had me fucking dead when she was like, "Girl, that's why I don't have a girlfriend a boyfriend because all of these niggas is gay." Like, it was me. I would just kill that nigga. You need to go back in there and kill that nigga.
Look, so they hire Eve on the talking panel at the Talk. Yes. Yeah, she's clearly temporarily. Yeah. Nobody's hired Eve permanently.
We'll be seeing how that goes. Does Eve have a personality that you would want to see on TV? You know, she had a show. She had a show.
Okay.
That was scripted.
The thing about Eve is like, okay, Eve as an idea, I enjoy. Mm-hmm. I enjoy the concept of what is she, like the princess of Rough Riders?
The First Lady.
First Lady.
Right?
Something like that.
Right.
I always enjoyed Eve's aesthetic, what she offered to hip hop, because it was unique.
It was different.
Now, when Eve starts to talk as a person, like, and you see her personality,
yeah,
that is where the buck stops for me. Yeah. Because I'm like, Eve, your forehead is already quite disruptive, and I feel like you're giving us an opinion that's not palatable for me.
No.
And I don't know why you, as someone who I would presume to be, I don't want to say smart, but okay, so like I told you that there was
a lyricist.
There was an interview that she did a few years ago or whatever where they asked her
about Nicki.
Right. And
this is all in response to Nicki Minaj's breaking the internet with the paper campaign.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So they asked her about Nicki, and she acknowledged the fact that she knew that people wanted her to hate Nicki or whatever. This is when Nicki was first coming up, I think in like 2010 or whatever the case. And she was like, well, yeah, you know, people want me to hate her or whatever. I really don't have no problem or whatever. You know, I think she's dope. She's this or whatever the case. But I don't know why people want me to have a beef with her. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have no issue or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So when they asked her about this paper magazine cover that Nicki just did, I was like, okay, so they're baiting you. Clearly.
Yeah. They're because they don't talk about that shit on this
right. Show. That's not...
I don't think so. I've never seen it, I'll be honest.
And why did everybody turn to you like, okay, this fucking black woman in hip-hop perspective.
On your first episode.
Right. You know, I feel like that's the only reason they brought you on, like, basically.
But I feel like this is definitely a show about respectability, flat out.
Definitely.
I think these are the girls who will sit up and talk about how short your skirt is and shit like that. Mm-hmm. You know, and for Eve to really play into that, I was very disappointed.
So, they basically asked her how she felt about it.
Yeah, which is an irrelevant question.
First of all, before we even get into that, so NIcki did the cover with Paper Magazine, and it's whoever, I can't remember the name of the photographer that shot the cover and the spread that she did.
I think it was it Diane Von? Was it
possibly?
Anglers?
I won't quote you, but I mean, whoever the photographer is did like a
fantastic job.
I thought she did a good job too. It was like a really clever like spin on
definitely
Nicki Minaj's name as far as like Minaj a Trial or whatever.
Well, Nicki's been doing that since she gonna do that anyway.
Right. I mean, that was the whole point, you know. And I didn't think that it was like necessarily. Nicki has like this tendency to be like really really cheesy sometimes. And I don't think that she is
Ellen Von Unworth, sorry.
That's photographer. Yeah. She can be... Sometimes when she's being provocative, I feel like it's very, very forced. Like, I feel like she is...
Not necessarily a provocative person.
Yes, I feel like it's all a part of this image. Like, it's all about selling the sex. And, like, and it's so clear when she does it. Like, I get that you talk about having a big fat pussy all the time, but it's like...
But she's always said that she's stingy with her cootie cat, too. I mean, and I feel like there's nothing necessarily wrong with that duality. Of course, I would say that I'm a Gemini, where you know are sexual, but it's not necessarily overly over the top. And I don't see any problem in playing that up for an editorial.
She doesn't exude sex,
but it's also an editorial, like, and it's also for Paper Magazine. It's also for the Break the Internet edition. Like, of course, it's going to be hyped up, you know.
So I think that.
And it was very hyped up.
I only say this because...
It was great.
Because I think that Nicki is, like, so intentionally provocative when she is. I think that you have to take that into consideration. So many people digest the things that Nicki Minaj does as if though she's unaware of the things that she, like, projects. Like, she knows that people dislike her for these things, but she does them anyway because it gets y'all to talk about it, and I think that she doesn't take it seriously enough to really...
No, I don't think that she cares. I think that she just wants to do what she wants to do.
She's like, I'm gonna fucking do this provocative ass photo shoot where I'm eating my own pussy, and niggas are gonna gag and be upset about it.
Well, first of all, who don't want to eat their own pussy? Is the question. Who has been saying that?
So,
because if you could eat your own pussy, why would you need to leave the house? Eve wouldn't even need to be on the show. Eve would be in the dressing room somewhere. 5 minutes.
Shut up.
Give me 15 minutes.
So they asked her about the cover, and I think that she took the bait as far as the question and decided to give her really respectable ass opinion about...
She said, you know what, I respect Nicki, but I don't think it's good for me. And it's like, well, and my thing was, here's the thing. First of all, you shouldn't have... They asked you how you felt about the cover. They didn't ask you if you would do the cover because... No one asked you if you would do the cover, realistically.
Right.
If they wanted you to do the cover, you would have been on the cover. Okay, wearing a dress, wearing a skirt, you know, wear something real respectable, you know, because you're a wife now. And a mother. But it's like Eve, stepmother. But it's like Eve. Did nobody ask you how you felt about the girl? Did nobody ask you how you felt about her bending over, popping her pussy? Did you like the cover or no?
Right.
And you said yes, but I wouldn't do it. That's
but she
unnecessary.
Also, I feel like that's the gist of what she said, but I feel like she said so much leading up to saying that it got her in more shit because it's like, okay, now you're trying to give us these weak ass she's a role model regardless of if she wants to be and has to be conscious of that, and little girls are looking up to Nicki Minaj and when you really could have just concisely said, I like her as a musician, as a lyricist. I do not like the cover.
And they would have said why, and then she probably would have said some stupid shit like. I feel like it's like if your opinion is uninformed. I feel like, and that's the thing that's annoying. It's like, you know, everybody's entitled to have an opinion, absolutely. But I feel like your opinion should be informed and it should have something to stand on. That's only fair. And it's sort of like
because I can't buy that. Oh, it's just my opinion. No, like I can't do that
because it's not realistic. It's like if you're going to have an opinion on something that is potentially a polarizing topic, you need to have a concise opinion and it needs to be informed. It needs to be just. And I feel like her opinion was very loosely based on something that didn't really make sense.
And it could easily be
she's a role model.
Dismantled. Like I don't have to sit here and really think hard about where there are holes in your argument or wherever the fuck. So my thing when it comes to the whole role model situation is it's never going to be any celebrity's responsibility to parent your kids. Also, on top of that, Nicki Minaj has never, since the beginning of her career, has never positioned herself as a kid-friendly
star.
Yeah, she's never been a kid-friendly artist. So it's like her name is literally Nicki Pussy Poppin' Minaj, and I'm like.
It's a play on sex. For you to even be like, oh, she's not she's not an inspiration to young girls. It's like, duh, bitch. Like, she's never trying to be. Mm-hmm. It's like, if your 5-year-old daughters are listening to her music, that's your cop as a parent. Like, that's what you need to do as a parent. If you have an issue with that, then you need to monitor. You need to take reins in your own fucking household, which is something a lot of people have problems doing for some strange reason. It's like, I didn't grow up listening to hip-hop music at all because my parents didn't fucking like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never had that problem.
I could listen to Khia when I was younger.
I couldn't listen to anything growing up. The only thing I could listen to was, like, liturgical music. And, like, Luther Vandross and, like, which was still high. I couldn't understand it. And then the first Beyonce CD. That was the first... And Britney Spears. Those were my only... That was my musical circle. That was it. And so it's sort of like, I don't understand when parents are like, you know, oh, they have these role models. It's like, I didn't look up... I looked up to, like, niggas like Luther Vandross and, like, Britney Spears when I was little because that's who the fuck I listened to.
Right.
That's what I was allowed to listen to. So it's just sort of like, I feel like parents have a lot more control than they really... it's like, if you need to stop blaming other people for your piss poor parenting skills.
Right. Basically. And
I'm no role model. We're not role models. It's not a child-friendly show. So don't come at me checking me about your kids listening to this, that, and the third. Watch your fucking kids.
I feel like on top of that as well, you know, aside from... I feel like, one, with the whole Nicki is a role model thing and you trying to push that narrative is, one, you're saying that Nicki Minaj has to be... or she has to conduct herself in a way that
conforms with respectability.
Right. It's like you're telling her, basically, don't be out here, you know what I'm saying, showing your body sexual. And being sexual because we trying to keep these young girls from growing up and be hoes, which is already stupid. I mean, problematic in itself.
Yeah, it's like you're monitoring someone's sexuality, and in a lot of cases before they're even born.
Right.
You know, or before they're even a thought.
Or ready to even be in that frame of thinking. Yeah. Like, you're already ready to police young women's sexuality. Exactly. And it's like...
And niggas can't wait to have daughters so they can police their sexuality. And it's like, I get tired of hearing.
And this is the thing with niggas, though. That's the thing. This whole take... Eve's whole take on the situation is something
powerful niggatry.
Right. It's powerful something that's set in the thinking of men and how men conceptualize what women are allowed to do. And for you to act like, oh, that's just her opinion. It's like, no, it's an opinion influenced by patriarchy and something.
And I thought that you, as a female who represented power and agency in Black female rap, would have a different opinion.
Right.
So it's disappointing to see that you have conformed so much to that. And I'm also kind of worried because you're in an interracial relationship. You're a stepmother to white children. What else are you, influencing, the younger generation of essentially rich white people.
And I don't even really want to get into that.
We're not going to get into it right now.
That's not the conversation.
I'm just saying.
But I also want to say that when we try to make room, I guess for lack of better words, make room for interracial relationships and try to not
be inclusive,
pearl clutch and gasp and, oh, she's in her interracial relationship. It's always, oh, well, it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying?
Who you fall in love with is who you fall in love with.
Right, but it's like...
But there's a political undercurrent to that you have to be conscious of.
Usually apparent. It's usually apparent, and it's like, it is. Like, Eve makes it apparent that you have these concepts around that respectability and how, especially Black women, especially need to conduct themselves in society in order to be seen as respectable. Like... it's hard for me to believe that that's not something that's penetrating your home life in
it's not really
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So Eve,
I'm not saying that you dress in chains and shit and rags when you fuck your husband. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there are some problems with the way that you conceptualize Black women and their position in America. And by the way, you also live in England. I just also wanted to clarify that. So there's some... I feel like there's some real complicated shit there that we don't all get to see with this relationship and with her as a person, the way she conceptualizes different things. But
I think that even her forehead really needs to take it back to the drawing board. Like, I don't even know if they're going to invite you onto another panel of this talking show because I don't understand what for. I feel like they got what they needed out of you.
Yeah.
And they were just like, Eve, well,
and
thanks
I feel
for
like
stopping
you
by.
might last a season at most. And that would be generous.
A whole season would be like, I would be like,
But I feel like she's not necessary. Like, she's just not, I don't perceive Eve as having this like grand personality that I'm just like, oh, it fits in so well. But then again, I don't watch the fucking show. I think everybody on that show is boring as hell. For fuck's sake, Julie Chen is on the show. Who the fuck is Julie Chen for real? Like,
I have no clue.
She's a news reporter and she talks like this and she does.
Is she the Asian lady?
Yes. It's like, girl, I don't want to fucking see you on TV for real. And then they got the daughter from Roseanne on that bitch. I don't even know that bitch name. Sarah something. She looked like a Sarah.
It sounds like a whole boring setup.
And she looked like she stank. I'm like, why everybody up on this dais, like, it just looked hot and musty like a woolly sweater in this bitch. Like, y'all are the woolly sweater show.
Right.
And it stinks.
So, what else are we?
Next up, we were talking about Tamar.
Okay, so Tamar is going through some things.
Tamar, first of all, I want to preface this by just telling Tamar, I'm very upset with you. You have been hailing this album as your best album yet. I listened to it, and I have determined that was a lie.
So you listened to it like in more depth since we talked about it?
Yes. Okay. And your second album still, your third album, your second good album, is still your best album to date.
Is that the Love and War one?
Yeah. No, that's the, is it called Angels and Demons? What's it called?
I don't know. I don't listen to Tamar. I think she has a beautiful voice.
No, I'm sorry. I know the album because I listened to it quite religiously, but the first song is Angels and Demons. It's not called Angels. Calling All Lovers. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember that.
Calling All Lovers is a very good album. But this Bluebird of Happiness shit, I feel like you are like, oh, this is the happiest point in my life I've ever been. And then 2 days later, you're like, I'm getting a divorce, by the way, because I've been miserable for the past year. So I'm sort of like, and I can tell that this album just really isn't, it's not your best work. And I know, I don't want to, I hate saying this, but I know once you get another recording setup and another writing setup, another managing setup, that album's probably going to be a lot better.
Yeah. I think that once Tamar really is able to
it feels dishonest.
Separate this illusion from whom she thinks we think she is.
We don't, and the thing is, we don't care.
All we know is that you are a good singer, and we respect your ability and your skill, your talent. We know also that you're annoying as hell, and nobody ever thought that your marriage was perfect. So
and I think she has this misconception, and we have this idea that she's like Mariah.
Yes,
like
and it's just like no.
And it's like we don't think of you and Vince as Beyonce and Jay-Z at all.
No.
Any stretch of the imagination, we think of you as Tamar and fucking Vince. And I will say the show.
People are so rude. Did you see them fucking retweeting those videos of her? It was like clips of the Family Value show, and she was telling all her sisters at the table, "Oh, your man be cheating on you. You,
your man is a computer whiz, and shit." I'll be like, okay, but see, that's always been Tamar, and I feel like that's why her personality is so inflammatory.
Sound effects. I was screaming.
It's just like Tamar. It's just like I've always kind of wanted Tamar to kind of take a step back and kind of just kind of be more.
She needs to be more down to earth.
Yeah, and just kind of like settle down. She's kind of too old to be doing all of this shit.
I feel like her music will be so much better if she was just more.
She need to leave them gays alone. I'm not trying to be funny.
And just raw. Like, I think that if she
need to put the gays away because I think she's taking too much.
Yeah,
she's siphoning a little bit too much energy off, and it's coming across as it's reading very what's the word? Besides disingenuine, it's just coming across very like you're using culture. It's very appropriation based. And
I get what you're saying.
And it's ugly. It doesn't translate well on you.
I want to see like a really like.
It seems like an insecure.
Fucking, thing. I don't know if like an Unplugged or something like. Cause I honestly would like to hear Tamar sing. I just want to hear her sing a good song about some shit that she really feels like. And I don't think
that's why Calling All Lovers. I almost called that shit Coming to America. That's why Calling All Lovers was such a good album. I feel because she had a couple songs on there that just like. Felt like they really had gravity to her, and you can tell when someone's singing a song and when someone means what they're singing. Right. Even in the studio, it's like I can tell you actually are going through this.
Right.
So there's some songs on the album that I'm just like they sound different, because they have that feeling behind them. It's just like when Beyonce does Resentment live,
Yeah,
not when she recorded it,
Mm-hmm.
but when she does it live. Even now, to this day, I believe anytime Beyonce sings Resentment, I didn't really much care for it. The one that everyone retweets, my favorite Resentment performance was when she was in New York and she had that white wedding dress on during the Mrs.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And she was like, never, ever, ever, ever. That's really, she really felt that one.
Believe it or not, I'm not crazy about that song.
You know what? And that's fine. But I'm just letting you know.
I get why people like it. I think she delivers a great
but that's
performance
all I'm
of it,
trying to say is I know that she feels that song when she sings it.
Mm-hmm.
So with Tamar, a lot of her music is not it's not that, it doesn't have that R&B gravity to it that I really want, you know. And I feel like it's just not completely genuine. So she kind of masks it with some poppy, upbeat stuff that she can work with more.
Well, I think that the rumors that are now leaking out about the abusive, domestic violent, relationship that
they
she
saying
has,
that Vince has hit her.
Yeah, that's what her mama said, which is the real. I mean, that's not the most important part, but I mean that adds a lot.
Her mom
of weight
is definitely
to it.
the Matthew Knowles of their family. Definitely.
Her mama came out and was basically like, and I honestly feel like the Braxton family, I would hate to be a part of the Braxton family. Because I feel like they don't have any real... They fight like real family, but I feel like they don't love like real family.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't... It's like, why would you say that to a reporter, like, about...
I would beat my mom ass if she did something like that.
She said that she wasn't speaking to her anymore. And I'm like, I probably wouldn't speak to my mama either if you came out to a reporter and put my business out there. Like, I'm already going through a divorce, but you're going to pile on to that by saying... Or revealing that's a lot. Like, you don't tell people's... and that's your daughter. And I could tell that she was concerned, but...
And maybe she hasn't been talking to her, and I don't know. She's definitely the Matthew Knowles, and that was definitely a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I feel like they have they all of them have this really tense relationship. That's just sort of like, okay, it's a lot to work through. But, when I saw that, I was just like, I was honestly shocked, because I wouldn't think that Vince would ever be bold and so emboldened to put his hands on Tamar. I feel like Vince is definitely one of them niggas. Like, you have niggas. I'm not going to cater to saying that it's niggas that fit the profile to abuse, because niggas abuse.
I mean, some do, but and there's some that you be like, okay, like you be like, you hit me one time, it's like it's not even that big of a deal. Shut up.
No, I'm just saying in my personal experience.
We slap boxed once.
It's like, it's like you hit me, it's like, it's fine, it's whatever.
I'm gonna get my leg
write
back.
that one out. I'm gonna hit you back, you know what I'm saying? Vince is one of them niggas, it's like, you can't even get loud with me. Don't even raise your voice. Take that caps lock out of your tone. You slap him. He don't slap you. Okay?
Slap Vince in his titty.
Okay, just as soon as he start talking slick,
yeah.
just like knock one of the titties up and then just start laughing. He still got the skin there, bitch. You can still kind of jiggle that titty up, But just as soon as he start talking slick, just reach out and just kind of play with him, like one on one.
Nigga, is you done?
Right? Like, are you done talking or no? Like,
I do feel for her though, because
you gotta bully a nigga.
Dealing with domestic violence is already like this really complicated and just like difficult situation to be going through, especially like in the public eye. And I think
she needs to understand that it's not that many people paying attention now. Like,
yeah, that's true too.
I think she has this conception that there's a lot of people paying attention, and there just really isn't. It's okay to take some time and just be like, I'm not doing this anymore, But I think she's always been a very complicated person. I understand not wanting to get a divorce. Her parents divorced, and it was very ugly. And I think that impacted her a lot with her relationships.
Yeah,
and she's the youngest. So I feel like, she probably grew up around a lot more shit.
She's so clearly the youngest, though. That's so like. But anyway,
I feel like she's always just kind of been the one who's been exposed to the most bullshit in the family.
Okay, that's probably true.
So it's like, by the time she came around, there's 4 other bitches in the house, and a dad that was cheating, and a mom that was at home sewing and shit, and cooking, and mayonnaise biscuits and shit like that. So it's like, I understand that being very, like, inflammatory and annoying. And so you're just like, okay, I want some attention. Hey, you coming out the room with fucking side ponytails on and shit, and like, doing your own haircuts. Tamar was the girl who did her own haircuts because she thought she could cut hair.
Cheekbones and shit. Like,
yeah, all of that, you know.
Look, okay, so there was a clip from the show. Okay, what is the show that Joe Budden has with DJ Academics?
I don't know.
It
is a show though.
It's on the tip of my tongue though, because I feel like I do know.
It's the one with the little knots in the. It's words, but it's got like a tie in the middle, right? Some shit like that.
I don't fuck.
They just be sitting at the table and they be yelling at each other and shit.
I honestly can't say that I have any specific hate for Joe Budden. I just hate urban radio, like, hosts.
You hate men on urban radio.
Yeah, in general. Like, all of those niggas are basically the same type of trash.
Ebro,
Charlemagne.
Y'all can all kiss my ass.
Like, Peter Rosenberg especially.
We're doing what you doing, whore. Fuck whore.
Shut up. But
because we're coming for your spot and you know that.
Don't call quiet. Don't call Kai on the show, please. Like,
shout out to Kai. Shout out to my mom.
I'm cutting all of that out. But so
I love Kaya.
She K Michelle was on the show with
who? Oh, okay. K Michelle. It took me a second. You have to say the donkey formerly known as K Michelle.
K Michelle was on the show and I just saw a small clip of his interview and it really piqued my interest because she seemed to be speaking on why her music is not charting on the radio.
You know, that's really committing career suicide. You don't talk about why your album is not charting.
It really is.
And your album hasn't even come out yet, has it? No, it's like let me tell you something. Last time I checked that album on iTunes, the shit was like 23 songs. And I'm like, listen, K Michelle is definitely a 11 songs cap on an album type of artist. Which means you have to have some really good songs. Anytime I see an album that overwhelming, I get a vibe that all the songs sound the same. And that's not good. I have yet to come across an album with that many fucking songs on it that I actually can listen to all the way through without feeling like at least 3 of the songs are essentially the same fucking song.
I'm trying to think of the longest album that I actually enjoy. And I'm thinking...
I think the one I enjoy is probably 14 tracks.
Which album is it?
You know what? I liked A Seat at the Table. I can listen to that all the way through, but most of those are filled with intros and
interludes and stuff. But they're still really... I mean, okay, anyway, we're going to
check. But K Michelle, there's reasons why your music is not... She had me when she said, if Adele sang the same shit, it would chart. First of all, Adele would never sing the same shit.
Absolutely not.
Adele would never. And Adele doesn't do that because she's a songstress. She's a songstress. She makes songs that are cute, that make you feel the type of way. She doesn't have to put 23 of them on the album.
The simple reason why Adele's music charts is because it is good.
It's not just because she's white.
No other reason.
It's not just because she's white.
No. I mean...
That gives her an advantage.
Right, it gives her an advantage, but simply because Adele's music doesn't sound really like anything else that is charting really high on the radio. Like, none of that folky, jazzy, like, British soul type shit. There's no other artist... Okay, but I feel like Sam Smith only breezes through in between Adele's hiatus.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's smart for that. He's like, 5 years?
Oh,
okay.
Adele, you done? Okay.
Get my shit.
You know that gift for that girl coming in with
hey, boo. Hi.
But, yeah, you know, so it's like Adele writes good fucking songs and she takes her time to write good songs and sing good songs. And then people pick up on that and are like, oh, okay, yes, I enjoy this.
It's my thing that I love about Adele, just in the same way that I love this about Beyonce, it's not gimmicky. And I'll give them both their credit in saying that it's not gimmicky.
No.
With K Michelle, it's gimmicky. The albums, the sound that has shifted, now you're doing this like... It's like, what the fuck
I hate
is
her
all
voice.
Of this?
That's the only reason that I've never really been able to get into her
first album
music.
Was... her voice is annoying as fuck. I'm gonna give you that. But her first album was more R&B oriented. It wasn't all of this like trap influence type shit that she started doing around her last album. And the last album wasn't bad. But I don't like her titles. I think they're gimmicky. More Issues in Vogue was kind of like unnecessary. The cover art was pretty. But yeah, and then this album, the people that I used to know is just sort of like You started an Instagram page for it. You started putting these really obscure pictures that don't look good on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sort of like, this was unnecessary.
And then you're also simultaneously a reality TV star. So I'm
it's not good.
You're not even able to quite put all of your energy into the music. And it's funny to me that you really want to get on these radio shows and hoot and holler about how you're putting all of your soul into these tracks, and like you're going into the studio and laying your heart down, and then you hear a record and you're like, oh, this is everything, you know what I'm saying, within me in song form. And then you juxtapose it to the basically, like, you're talking about Migos, I assume, when you're talking about, like, the mumble rap. Like, you're really talking about Migos because they're one of the only mumble rappers that are, like, charting high, and that's because they make great music. Like,
they make music that we can pop our ass to. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and it's like
that's why we play.
It ages well.
Migos. So it's like
has good energy.
You don't get played because your music isn't great.
Right.
And your personality is even worse. Because for you to sit up here and be talking about, let's have a conversation about why my shit isn't charting. Let's not. And you give this very base model assessment of, and I hate bitches who think like this. And there's a lot of them running rampant on the streets who think that the reason why they're not successful is they simmer everything else down. They're unable to unpack everything that's toxic about them or negative. Or
because they like to point fingers.
Yeah, untalented about them, frankly. And they say that it's because I'm black.
I swear to God, somebody else did this not too long ago, and I cannot remember who.
Because they weren't talented.
Yeah, not very memorable, clearly. But yeah,
I feel like it was K Michelle. I'm just trying. I'm not trying to be funny. I feel like it literally was K Michelle because she says this she said it a couple times, and I'm just sort of like, this isn't the reason why your shit isn't charting, and we're not gonna sit up here and like pretend that if Adele was singing your shit, it would chart higher because it wouldn't.
No,
Adele wouldn't sing your shit because it's not good. It wouldn't even be on the album.
I've always thought that K Michelle was like this generation's Keisha Cole, but
Keisha Cole's music at this point is better than K Michelle's.
I feel like it has always been better.
I mean, Keisha Cole's latest music is better than K Michelle's. Like, that 11/11 reset is better than anything K Michelle's.
I haven't listened to it, but I think that Keisha Cole, despite her being vocally challenged, has good songwriters, and, you know.
And that You song with Remy Ma, she could have kept French Montana off of it.
They can keep French Montana off of everything.
Yeah,
like, I don't understand.
I was so fucking mad when Tiana Taylor did that tribute at the hip hop thing.
Oh, and he came out.
And I was like, what the fuck is he doing here? Like,
what?
Why is he coming out?
Who are you? Like, I feel
Tiana Taylor killed it, and then he just my dick just went soft when he came out.
We don't need DJ Khaled
what is this?
And French Montana.
It's too much. Too much. Too many spices and flavors on that stage that are lack the fuck luster. All I need DJ Khaled to do is say Khaled before every song, you know, and another one and shit like that. I just need him to say that shit and put out a song with Beyonce on it. Like, cool. I'm down with the shit. But anything else, you don't need to make no music. DJ Khaled don't make music. French Montana don't make music for real.
No. Even
though he just had a song that was pretty popular. I didn't hear it.
I avoided that song consciously because I didn't care. But, you know, I just want K Michelle
to, you know what? You can retire.
Set her silicone pussy in like a lukewarm bath and just let it
settle down.
Just ease your mind.
I feel like she
before you go back to the studio.
I feel like she's one of those girls who wants you to think that she's like a deep thinker, or like she wants you to think that she's
an artist.
Yeah, I think she's very performative artistically, and that's annoying. There are some people, and I will say this about Beyonce: she's not performative at all as an artist. She's very just like, this is just what I do. And she's like, I can't help that I do it so well. You know, like, but okay, wait. I feel like a lot of artists aren't performatively artistic.
Quick, unrelated thing before we go on break. Janet Jackson's tour looks fucking fantastic. Every clip that I've seen of Janet Jackson's tour, I'm like,
and I'm thinking about going because tickets are only $25.
We should go together.
I mean, that's not realistic, but yes, I'll go. I'll be going probably.
Okay.
Tickets are cheap. I mean, her tickets are almost cheaper than Azealia Banks concert tickets. But she's playing at venues and shit. I mean, Azealia Banks is playing at like people's houses and shit like that. Like,
yeah. So
hi guys, I'm in Idaho right now, and I'm doing a show tonight. See you 15 people that are listening to this coming.
I'm gonna be performing outside of the local bodega.
Yeah, I'll be performing at the corner on Liberty and 24th. So please come and bring me a black and mild. Thanks.
Okay, so
the big bad witch is back.
We're gonna take a break and we will be right back. All right.
The house, work me, the house, the house, work me, the house. B&B, bell of the ball, B&G better than the mall, never been the floor, pretty kitty, manicured claws, silly, never been a drawer, when the purr, ready when the pour, cause a stir when she on the floor, living in the oil, champagne always on the pour, some happy others can applaud, some bitches like it, but of course, mermaids went on the shore, took the prince crown and a coin, shut it down and the bitch is gone, the runners on Perignon, downtown rivers of the song, Khia on my head when it's on, now get the critics in the mall, physically shorty is a bomb, but the blue weave of the blonde, all the mama on, thanks, pick the bank in the phone.
I used to think I was fierce because I was at all the houses, I won trophies. I used to munch straight for dollars too. But see, I'm fiercer now because I got a job, I got an education, and I got somebody waiting at home for me, goddammit. Now, one queen asked me the other day, was it? She told me, Mister, you think you're fierce? I said, of course. She said all queens think they're fierce. I said, mistake all queens at me.
Won't never see on my feet for the eyes. The reason why I'm in luxury design. So chic, so ahead of time. Cunt queen, princess of the prize. Witness the baddest bitch alive. Reporting from the belly of the night.
So our cigarettes are out. We have ashed our cigarettes. We're back. I've had a sip of water.
Mm-hmm, sure.
And I'm ready to get back into the fuck shit.
Okay, so you want to talk about the VMAs? I mean, AMAs.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't, but let's do it anyway.
The only thing I have to say is,
wow,
white people are, y'all are something else. Y'all are something. Okay, so
first of all, I want to be clear. I didn't watch it.
Oh no, of course not.
Because like you said, white people are something else, and we knew that anyway.
Watching award shows is pointless these days because you're gonna hear about it anyway.
Unless
and you're gonna
the Beyonce performance is involved, because that's something you need to experience live.
Right. But
no.
So white people brought forth their most heralded vocalist.
I thought that girl was Ecuadorian.
Christina Aguilera. She's still white to me. I mean,
the bitch got blue eyes and blonde hair.
Yeah, the white people.
She speaks Spanish.
They put forth their most skilled vocalist.
I thought that was Jessie J. That wasn't Jessie J up there.
Why the fuck did they have Christina Aguilera singing "I Will Always Love You"?
And that girl is pumped. Christina Aguilera. I don't know who she's been visiting, but they just needed to do
she was
a
holding
little bit less on that
cheekbones
syringe.
tight as hell. Was trying to
and them lips too. That because she kept doing that thing with her top lip, and I'm like, there's some shit in there that some
every
big stuff.
audience member was
Pink was even
in
like
question, like.
And Pink said today that she wasn't throwing shots, but Pink was throwing shots.
Pink, you got caught, bitch.
Pink. Don't act, because you know the camera was going to be on you. She said, why didn't it show the part where I was crying? She was probably trying not to laugh. She was crying.
Even the nigga from This Is Us,
mm-hmm.
I forget what his name is. The one that plays Kevin was sitting behind SYRE like, bitch, what the fuck is this shit?
But Christina Aguilera needs not to
act like she can sing.
What I call what Christina Aguilera does is screaming with style. Because it's not really singing. No. But it is a talent that I think only she possesses. I don't know who else does that. But it doesn't translate into Whitney.
No, not at all. Like,
and I'm like, what?
Lord.
But she tried to do that shit before. Remember? It was like maybe 2 years ago.
She does this in every performance. Like...
No, she did this like 2 years ago. She was supposed to do a performance with a hologram of Whitney, and they axed it. Because they were like, we're not doing this.
Why? Okay, so do you know why they did a Whitney Houston
No,
tribute?
Probably because Christina Aguilera like might be coming out with some new music, and she just kind of wanted to create like a little buzz.
Because I'm like...
But that wasn't good.
Been passed, and I was just confused because didn't they also do like a Diana Ross? Diana Ross showed up, didn't she?
And she's still alive.
She is.
I'm waiting to do a Beyonce tribute. I don't want Beyonce to be dead though, because I feel like Beyonce needs to kind of have a hand in it. Yeah. Because I feel like they had a Destiny's Child tribute a while back, and Fifth Harmony did it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was sort of just like, this isn't.
They're still
this
called
don't
Fifth
slap.
Harmony? Wow.
And it's only 4 girls. I'm
They're
like, y'all
coming-
need to
that's coming to a
get in it.
close.
Oh, yeah.
I really
think
am
this
sure of
album that they just released is their last. No, I didn't realize that they just released the album.
Me either. I mean, I follow them.
But the songs, Camila, is that the girl's name? Camila? Whatever the fuck. The girl brought a little bit of moment to the group that is now gone. You know?
Yeah.
She could do a vocal climax.
Mm-hmm.
The other girls who can do that are Dinah, and I don't want to hear that bitch sing for real.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Dinah. I was gonna say Lauren, but
Well, they lasted much longer than I had expected them to. So
Congrats.
anything that they do at this point is just like
Little Mix is still ahead of the game.
is up in the air.
Did you hear Escape's new music
I did hear a
without
clip.
Candy?
It's good.
It is so good. That Dream Killer shit.
Yeah.
And Tiny sound good as fuck.
She does sound good.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna listen to an album if they put
Yes,
it out. I would
yeah.
like a single first.
Yeah,
I don't want y'all to
absolutely.
just come out
Don't
with an
just drop the
album.
album.
I think 112 just dropped an album. Do you remember? Like a week or two ago, 112 just dropped an album, and people said that it was good. I wasn't gonna listen to it just because I don't want to. But if Escape dropped a single, I would listen to the single, and if the single was good, if it was that single that I heard in the clip, then I definitely would listen to the album.
I want that single because it sounds so fucking good.
The concept is there.
is.
It's not too modernized. It still has that authenticness to it
Yes.
from, you know what I'm saying?
And the harmonies are tight. That's something that I like because I feel like that's always kind of been my thing with girl groups, especially Escape. Like maybe it was the time or whatever, but I never felt like the harmonies were as tight. I felt like the tightest harmony goes to Destiny's Child. When they choose to
Escape
harmonize.
has all 4 of those girls have different singing styles.
They do, and
but it
but I'm
works
glad
in a
Candy
way.
isn't recording with them. To be
I
honest.
mean, I don't.
Candy's never really been. Candy.
They aren't missing anything like that's essential.
Candy's
but
never brought the sweetness to the
I would have
mix.
liked if Candy just fell in line with what the fuck they were trying to do, girl, because you don't have shit else to do.
She's a mother, and she's a real housewife.
I mean, I guess, but career-wise, you don't
she
have
sells dicks.
shit else to do. So I'm like, you might as well fucking
Candy be selling them vibrators.
at least
and them
toured
lipsticks.
with these hoes. Like, I mean, or they already went on tour, didn't they?
I think they're still touring, right?
She's just being entirely.
Candy really act
butt
like she don't
fuck.
want to do it, but it's like just don't do it then. Like we don't like realistically they don't need you. Like,
I saw them on
sonically,
Andy Cohen's show or whatever, and he asked them if they were going to be recording new music,
and
and
they were like, "Yep." but she's
awkwardly, yeah, he was like, "Why?"
not. Wasn't it Latasha who was like, "Tell them, Candy, be honest."
Right? They're so real.
And then they tried to laugh it off, and Candy was just sitting there like, she did that shit like, I'm going to. Like, you can tell Candy is the
right.
one. That's why every time I see an interview where it's like, Candy, she get to crying and doing all that shit. And it's just like, you're the one. You're the X factor in the group that's
The most
making
disruptive.
Yeah, you're making problems where they don't have to be. But I see that shit on the show. Like, Candy's always doing some shit. And it's just like, and she tried to play it off like, well, I don't know what's going on. And who has been saying that? And it's just like, girl, Candy.
I heard
you're annoying.
I heard Pink got up in another trapeze set up for the AMA performance that she did.
I didn't see that.
Pink has a new album coming out for some reason.
And she's going on another tour for some strange reason.
You know, and we talked about this already when I think she got the Video Vanguard Award for the VMAs.
It's
like,
premature.
I enjoy Pink's music, but this that she's doing now, I'm just like, I don't know, maybe because of those dumbass comments she made about Trump, that I'm just like,
Maybe.
Pink,
She
sit
seems
it
to be
down.
on a tip where she's like, and I hate when I really realistically I don't like when people do this. Where people get on this tip about let's heal and shit like that because it's not realistic and it's not honest. You don't like someone. Like Christina, like, oh, we ended our beef. Bitch, y'all have been beefing since y'all were 16,
Right.
okay? It's like, do you really expect me to think y'all had a conversation and y'all are cool now? It's like, oh, I support other women. It's very performative. It's like, you don't like this bitch. You've said time and time and time again recently that you don't like this bitch. When you do shows, you be on the piano. Ooh, I sounded like Christina Aguilera then. And then everybody be laughing and shit. And then you're like, well, you know what? I dyed my hair pink, so I just really want to heal with people. And it's like, y'all get on this tip, and I feel like the music sucks once you start doing this shit. It's like,
I'm
just
not
be
interested in
be
the music.
honest.
I think that
No, and honestly, I can honestly say I have no interest in listening to a Pink album anymore.
It's like I want to hear
Not
Pink
this one.
sing, but I don't want to hear her sing a new song.
That last album she came out with, what was it? The Truth Hurts or some shit like that?
The one where she had the what is it? Just Give Me a Reason.
Yeah.
With the
Blow Me One Last Kiss.
Yeah.
That was doable. Like,
I like that. It was especially good for radio. But you know, I don't know why Pink is doing what she is doing right now. I feel like.
I mean, I feel like she does the same shit Kelly Clarkson does, to be honest.
I hate Kelly Clarkson.
That's so fat phobic of you to say. You just don't like her because she got big.
I can't stand you.
I'm just being honest. Because Kelly Clarkson is still that girl.
Is she?
That Idol performance that she did where everybody was crying because she was singing about her dad, how he ran away.
I don't like the way she sings. Never have.
And all I remember is your back.
No.
I thought that song was about some sex at first when she said all I remember is your back. Because I'm like, I know a couple. All I remember is they back, for real.
Well,
Okay.
the AMA seemed like they were a dud, and you know,
The AMA sucked.
I'm glad I didn't waste any of my time watching them.
I'm so glad that I actually left my TV 2 cities away and don't have to deal with even the temptation of watching that shit in my leisure.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents don't involve themselves in white mess. So, you know, we don't.
The AMAs are always underwhelming. I feel like they're the knockoff VMAs. But
Now I'll stand for a VMA. You know,
sure.
VMA shows, honestly, I'll be honest, they're really good when Demi Lovato was there. Demi Lovato did a performance. She is a vocalist. She needs to learn how to do a pre-recorded track and dance a little bit. And I think maybe that'll bring the stock of her performances up.
Mm-hmm.
Demi Lovato is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And this album that she just released is actually very good.
I'll take your word for it.
Thank you. It's probably her best album, but I need to see other artists and then didn't Shawn Mendes walk home with an award and he was like up with like Charlie Puth and Bruno Mars? And I'm like, how the fuck did Shawn Mendes win that award? That's why I don't like the AMAs, because it's just like I feel like y'all give awards out capriciously. Like
I feel like a lot of people said that the awards were given out.
Yeah,
it's like or a lot of people were snubbed.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I would like a nice VMA, you know, a nice Grammy performance. I'll stand for the Grammys, you know, like I'd love to see a Bruno Mars performance.
Mm-hmm.
As long as Zendaya isn't performing, because Zendaya doesn't need to perform. She could stand there. If Zendaya just stood there with a dress on, I'd be like, I love this song.
I love looking at Zendaya.
I love this song.
Shut up.
Just like Zendaya just needs to wear outfits and just walk across the stage, and I would be in there just like Keisha Cole when SZA was performing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yes.
I'm screaming.
That's all we need from her. We don't need her to sing. We don't need her to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Just wear an outfit, you know. Maybe read a book while you up there, like read a Asada Shakur novel or some shit, and I'd be like, yes, she's educated and she's gorgeous.
Wow.
Yara Shahidi doesn't need to attend the award shows.
They've been giving her heat lately.
She needs to just be in school.
I'm gonna let her live though.
She just needs to be in school.
Did you?
You need to be in school. You're young. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Twitter, which is where I got all this information from about database, because I am so iconic and because I am so legendary and because I am, in reality, a social media maven, you know, I am very in tune with Twitter, even though I hate Twitter. Mm-hmm. I've had several tweets go viral recently, because that's just how I live and that's just who I am. By the way, follow me at JSizzy on Twitter. But yeah, so I was on Twitter this morning when I was in bed, and I really love that Twitter has this little feature now where it shows you what other people like, you know, and you can just like go on ahead and block the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
So a couple of my friends actually that I know in real life, liked this tweet that was talking about trans women.
I think I know what tweet you're talking about.
It's from La Femme WM, where it says trans women are males.
I blocked her.
I blocked her and everybody that I saw liked that tweet. And one of my friends was so bold to retweet it. And I'm sort of like, and here's my thing. Here's my thing about that. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's petty to block people over shit like that. But my thing is, I follow people that I know in real life on Twitter because I value their contributions to Black culture, typically. I don't follow that many white people, and when I do, they're very woke.
Yes, very selective.
I'm very selective. But I mean, especially with Black people, I appreciate, if I follow you, it means I appreciate your social contributions. I don't give a fuck about what you wear. I don't give a fuck about what you do. I give a fuck about how you make me feel. And if you make me feel safe and secure, you know, with your opinions, then I follow you. But a couple of people, the whole tweet is a mess.
Would you like to read the tweet?
Yeah. It says, trans women are males. They do not bear children, breastfeed, hail from a divine feminine, house a sacred passage, sacrifice blood, sync with phases, flow and flex with the universe. They just want the superficial benefits of a social construct, but don't bear the stripes.
Her plug sold her some loud ass weed, like,
you know, that weed that was laced with crack that he tried to give Rico Nasty. That's what he gave this bitch.
She said, don't talk about that shit. But she said, when I roll it up, she's like, because for real be doing crack. Like, that's not funny. Which is so real. Like, don't tell me this shit to make me feel like I'm on crack as I'm rolling up.
She'll be like, you have to look at somebody like, what the fuck? It'll make me feel like I'm on crack. So it's cracking this. Is what you saying.
I will stop in my hole of your ass.
Right.
Like, so...
But it's like, and then that was just the first tweet in the thread of tweets that I'm not going to go into. But I'm going to tell people who are listening, I detest bitches who think this way. And it's always typically a black woman who
this is my problem with the whole, before you even get into it.
And then y'all start saying this word like woman, spelled WOMBYN. Kill yourself.
That's terrible.
I'm just like,
but this is what bothers me about the people that want to hold black women as this like martyr of like every social justice movement, because I mean, like, yes, black women are oppressed in so many different ways, and like they do have a perspective that we need to listen to, but there are so many black women that are still cis and and like
who are
able-bodied and like just
completely cut off.
Yeah, like no, because you have black women that say shit like this, and
but
it's like
I feel like with black people on a whole, I feel like we all get much too complacent in our own marginalization and our own mistreatment. With cis hetero black men stuck, you know, get stuck in their marginalization. Black women get stuck in their marginalization. And typically when it comes down to queer people, they're much more inclusive of everyone. Tend to be. It's a little bit more sticky when it comes to gay men in particular, just being honest. A lot of lesbians are also very similar in thought to this tweet.
I mean, honestly, anybody that's cisgendered is going to fall
anyone
under
who's
this.
cis is very it's difficult. It's very tricky. You know, and it's sort of like you want to have these conversations about trans people and including them, but there's this whole underline. I feel like a lot of times with black women there's the toleration undercurrent.
Yes, that's what it is. Because it's a lot of cis women in... I try not to... I try to be careful with speaking about trans experiences and things because not all of them are the same. But I try to keep my ear to the streets when it comes to these issues because it's important to me to hear directly from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what I've heard is, you know, there is this idea of gender essentialism that a lot of black women, black cishet women will perpetuate as far as, like, they feel somewhat of an entitlement to, like, saying, oh, well, this is a real woman's experience. You know what I'm saying? Real women sacrifice.
That's exactly what they look like, too.
It's irritating.
Real motherfucking women sacrifice. You gonna stand up there looking at me like you a real motherfucking woman? You a real motherfucking woman?
You know what I'm saying? It's like, irritating to me because it's like, okay.
And they all shape the same
These are not the things that make you a woman. Having a period is not what makes you a woman.
There are several women who don't have kids, who don't have breasts, who don't have periods.
Not even by some defect or severe health, you know what I'm saying, reason, but some women just choose not to have kids. Like, what if you're just like, okay, I am not cut out to be a mother. I don't see myself having kids in the future.
You don't want to have children.
Does that make me less of a woman? Like,
yes.
It's so stupid.
It is stupid. It's dumb as hell. It's like, y'all, that'd be like, you know, and we get into the talk about genitalia and saying that, you know, you can't be a woman if you have a penis, which is just as stupid. You know, we need to stop understanding male and female and women and men like differently, you know, like I don't understand why it's so complicated to separate gender from sex. I don't. I just
because we don't know as much as people claim, and I'm not trying to be no fucking STEM snob. Like, I respect all fields of study, but people do not understand science the way that they claim to, and I really, really hate it when we have these conversations around gender and people automatically jump to this scientifically academic type of jargon. It's oh, well, you know what I'm saying, this chromosome and that chromosome and this sex, and you know what I'm saying, DNA works this way, and it's just like you don't have a comprehensive understanding of genetics at all. So
because
don't use that as a talking point.
There are so many variations of gender,
right?
And there are so many variations of chromosomes. Like we even talking about sex is never that cut and dry.
Right.
Nothing is as dichotomized as you think it is. So it's very interesting getting into these conversations with people who are so closed off, and I do get a very foul taste in my mouth anytime I have a conversation with someone and they start talking about women being special because they can have children. Yeah, it's like, the way I see it, your body is how it is. If you can bear children, you can. Right. And if you can't, you can't. Right. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with you being a woman, because there are women who cannot have children.
And there are men that can.
And there are men that can have children. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you need to really kind of cut yourself from this thought because it's very toxic. It's very, it completely ostracizes and devalues other people's experiences.
Yes, because it makes it seem like you're
not a real person. Like you're not. Right. And I hate that thought. Like you're not a real man. You're not a real woman. You are who the fuck you are.
I think what's most interesting about this conversation and with a lot of other social topics when we start to get extremely radical and nuanced in our conversation is these people that want to scream from the rooftops, oh, y'all are making this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all making this shit up as y'all go. Oh, y'all made that word up. Oh, now y'all just making up this gender shit and all of this other type of shit. And, I rebut that by saying, what is so wrong with formulating your own sense of identity and being able to articulate that in your own individual way? Like, if we have to create language in order to describe new experiences, and we have to, not to say that, any of these experiences are new, but people have to continue to forge language that can accommodate a conversation such as this. Like, so if we're talking about, say, gender non-binary people, and you don't quite understand what that means, it's because people have created language to describe the nuance in between what a man is and what a woman is. If you're not ready to come around to that concept, then you're not able to participate in this conversation. But you cannot jump in and tell people that their experience, the language that they're using to describe it, is not real or it was just made up. Like, all of this shit is made up. What are you talking about? Like, the whole concept of gender is made up.
Bitch, first of all, everything is made up. Language is made up.
Exactly.
So, it's like, you're made up. Like, everything that your clothes are made up. Like, your sense of fashion is made up.
The fact that you think that in order to be a woman, you have to have a functioning uterus and be able to sacrifice blood and kill chickens in your closet, whatever the fuck. Like, it's made up. You made that shit up. This morning.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like everything, and even the things that you're basing your opinions off of are made up. It's like, your thought process on the importance of men and women in society is made up. People are important. You know what I'm saying? It's important to have bodies in the on the planet that can contribute. It's important to have bodies that can contribute in one way or another, intellectually, physically, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
and then also, like, okay, so how you were speaking on this idea of, like, people don't think that a woman can be a woman if she has a penis. Like, I find it so interesting how obsessed cis people are with what is in the draws of trans people. Like, because there are, like someone was pointing out on Twitter, there are trans women that walk up to you, introduce themselves, hang out with you all motherfucking day, and you won't know them from the next cis woman, like, because they could have had this surgery, had that surgery, they may have not. Like, you would never know, because that's not something that you would ever be able to appropriately inquire about.
There are people who can pass as either gender without needing any surgery.
Right.
It's
so like I'm just
low key, I'm not trying to brag, but it's like, I can do that shit. Like, high key, it's like, because I'm a handsome ass man, I'm a pretty ass bitch, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I can literally do both. No, but I'm being serious, because it's like, I don't understand, but every time I go out somewhere, somebody's like, man, what can I get for you? And I'm just like, bitch, wow, that's crazy. I just must be a gorgeous ass nigga, huh? But it's just like, it's you don't know, and it's just like, you know, all this conversation long ago about people talking about, oh, I can't have a penis in a ladies' room. There have been several penises in a ladies' room that you
are you gonna
don't
go
know
in
about.
every fucking stall and check the drug? Like the more that you,
because people have this thought about trans people being this man in a wig, like trope. It's like, you know, it's like Shaquille O'Neal with a long wig on, like going into someone's fucking bathroom. And
you know what I think it is? I think that cis people think trans women are drag queens. Like
I do too.
It is so crazy because those things are so. That shows how much of a
you have to be very
basic
dense.
understanding.
Yeah. It's a very dense understanding. Trans women are not even close to being drag queens.
No,
drag queens is 100. And
I just
had a conversation with a nigga about this yesterday, and this is why I don't like niggas in general. Like I'm just so anti-nigga at this point because he is one of them niggas. And you know, how do I start this off? I don't like niggas, and I don't like women who play, not anybody, I don't like no fucking body, who plays the smart girl game with me, who, you know that they're fucking stupid, but they try to play like they're smart. I don't like that.
I hate it.
And it's like, you know, I'm not at a point where I feel like you need to try to meet me intellectually. You know, I don't think I'm smarter than anyone. I think my experiences make my perspective unique. I think that your experiences make your perspective unique. Don't try to come at me though with some intellectual pseudo scientific bullshit that I can break through.
Don't pretend that you don't read a book, girl.
Right.
Like
it's like and I feel like and low key, I'm not trying to be funny, but I feel like niggas go to prison and they come back and that's just how they act. They act like they know every fucking thing. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand what your problem is. Like, hi key, I don't know what the fuck your problem is. But this nigga was like talking about some drag queens or some shit, and he was just like, somebody tell me what this is. He's trying to be funny. And I'm like, it's a drag show. It says like right on the title, it says it's a drag show. And he's like, I don't understand what that is. I'm like, they're drag queens and they put on shows. It's a drag show.
And I'm not even going to act like I'm a person that doesn't quite fully understand drag culture. That's not something that I've been exposed to that much. And I have, you know, my questions and inquiries about whatever the culture is. But that's still not something that you have to inquire about in a condescending way.
No,
and people tend to do that.
It's not, and I think my thing is people think that they, like you said, they conflate trans people with drag queens, and it's really like a joke to them, and they think it's funny, but it's like it's very serious when someone is trans, and people who are trans can be drag queens because drag queens is a performance art, like you said. It's like it's high key like clownery, for real. It's like mimery, clownery, and buffoonery. Like, it's just you're putting on makeup and a fucking wig and you're going out there to entertain people. You're not trying to entertain people when you're trying to live your fucking life.
Basically,
that's
just the gist of it. And it's not
it's
very
just
hard
like,
to
I mean, it's like, bitch, some of y'all be walking around here looking like fucking Bozo the Clown. Okay, y'all be having on 7 pounds of makeup that is not your foundation shade, red lipstick with yellow ass teeth, and a big red ass wig on. You know what I'm saying? Looking like
the next
Bozo the Clown.
Enough. Like,
okay, like a long ass, straight, fucking bright red ass wig, but want to sit around talking about, you know, oh girl, you know, I don't know, I don't get drag queens, like that's just so performative. What are you doing? What do you do?
It's just about the whole thing that bothers me with that whole tweet, especially, is not just the transphobia, but also
I hate that
like
it's coming
this,
from a woman. I just hate that
pseudo like mysticism that they're trying to add around like the sacrificing of blood.
I hate people who try to add
like,
pseudo mysticism around black people. Period. It's
it's irritating.
It's unnecessary because you try to. I feel like that feeds into a reason why people can't take us fucking serious, because it's like, this is not the conversation.
Because
like,
those of y'all that actually think like black girls are like actually magic, like
it's like, yeah, black people are magic. Like
they
yes,
all
that's true.
have like some hidden Hogwarts school.
But it's not like people. It's not like black women are like taking their period blood and like using it to like grow their gardens and shit like that. Like,
no.
It's not like they're putting it in our food and like that's what makes it. It's like y'all are just doing a lot. You know what I'm saying with all of this conversation, because white women have periods too. Asian women have periods too. A lot of people have periods. Okay, it ain't just black bitches that be having periods. Y'all be acting like black women just a black woman could fucking plant a flower in the ground and y'all would be like, see, that's that black girl magic. And it's like, bitch, like, I get that we need to hype ourselves up. I get that we need to give ourselves the credit that we deserve, but this is taking it way too far.
Yeah.
And every time I see a tweet or a picture on Instagram of a black woman, like, there are so many pictures I've seen of, like, uteruses with that are like slave boats and shit, and y'all really think that y'all are saying some deep shit, and it's like, what the fuck is this?
Somebody pass me the melatonin.
Somebody tell me what this is about.
I'm ready to take a nap.
Or like I am a woman and it's like some hands here and then it's like a universe and a bitch pussy. It's like, first of all,
fucking galaxy in your
first of all, let me tell you something. That is not how that shit work. No. That shit is very finite. Okay,
right.
Like don't try to think that it's just everything in that bitch and like you could just reach up there and grab Jupiter and just like no shooting stars and shit. It's like no, it do feel like that. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it do feel like that, but bitch, it's very finite in space.
Sometimes a little bit of cheese up there.
Goodbye, Kylie. Goodbye.
Okay.
But it's just like, you know, I am not going to take away from women. I think that people with uteruses have who choose to use them, you know, who have you know uteruses that are doing what they're doing. It's like that's a beautiful thing.
It
you
is.
know what I'm saying? It's like it's wonderful. A uterus is great.
But don't weaponize that against like trans women.
Exactly.
Like...
It's like and that'd be like me trying to weaponize my penis. And a lot of things. Here's one thing I'm gonna contribute this to the conversation. Niggas be trying to contribute that shit. Like, oh, you know, I have a penis, so I'm a man. It's like, first of all, you have a clitoris. Like, let's not take it too far. Because a lot of niggas be like, oh, I have a penis and that makes me a man. It's like, you really don't. Like, you have a clitoris with balls behind it. Like, it's very like, you know, you are hyping your shit up just a little bit too much. Don't forget where the fuck your penis came from. Because that shit is just a long clitoris for real.
I mean,
let's not
anatomically.
Like, so it's like, don't forget where the fuck you came from. That's the thing that I don't like. It's like, y'all act like y'all don't understand anatomy. You don't understand genetics. You don't understand any type of bio.
But these concepts can be easily broken down. I mean, if you're just willing to
listen.
listen.
You don't need to be no major
that are talking about it are trans people and people that can directly speak from experiences. You don't want to listen to these voices. You think that they don't have enough merit for you to listen to what the fuck they have to say. You'd rather just be resistant.
You think that your opinion is the only opinion that should matter.
Right.
Because you're a man. Or because you're a black woman.
So,
I feel like we all have these constructs. I feel like every person within the black community, especially, and I'm saying the black community because that's what I know. We, like I said, we all get stuck, and we all feel like we have this opinion that's superior because we've been marginalized more than the next group, and it's annoying.
So let's segue on into our music segment so we can wrap it up and get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
I'm
starting to get tired of it.
So, did you want to go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay, so,
I'm interested in seeing what you're listening to.
So...
Even though we share songs pretty regularly.
Khia has a new record.
I am shook that you mentioned her name.
Y'all know I really don't like that yuck mouth.
No, first of all, we're not going to do Khia like that. She said that her shit could be bucktooth, buttered, and missing, but she got all her shits, and they're all there.
She found them all?
Wow.
So she has this new song with T.S. Madison, called Next Caller, which is inspired by the Queen's Court Facebook Live programming that they produced together, where she has notably
become enemy number one.
Yeah. She dismisses people with the next caller.
I love it.
Catchphrase. I mean, it's
hilarious.
It really is. But
give this bitch a gavel and she will entertain.
So, of course, I hate Khia, like I should, and at the same time, I can't deny that this is a fucking dope ass record. It kind of makes me upset that Khia is good at making music. Like, Khia has multiple bops, and I will never take that away from her. It's just irritating because she's like this really obnoxious ass fucking... She's just a dope ass fucking musician. I don't really know how she angles her approach to making music, but like, it's dope. Like the fucking, what is it? What do they call it? Bounce music. I like the bounce music type style. I like the fucking the T.S. Madison.
Khia.
Yeah, the little what do you call that shit? Like
spoken word. I don't know.
She's just speaking in the background of the song, saying like really petty shit. Like. It's a fucking bop, and I can't deny it. Like,
it's a very good, entertaining song.
I don't know if she should continue.
Cause that petty song she could have kept.
Yeah, cause I'm not like looking for a Khia album or anything. Like, don't get carried away.
But I mean, Khia's always made albums that no one was looking for, and low key they each have at least one bop on them. Like
yeah.
Like, and that's the thing that's annoying, cause she can. I think Khia is one of those artists that can just think of something and just like we all come up. I think anytime you're artistic, you all kind of like come up with like a little rap that's kind of cute, you know. even people who aren't necessarily artistic, I know do that. You know, like I have a friend who like she'll like just freestyle on top of a record and it'd be hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny because she don't give a fuck. But Khia actually like records it and puts it out, and she don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, she's an interesting person.
Hate it and love it.
Yeah.
So NIcki finally dropped her "The Way Life Goes" Uzi remix, and I am very, very pleased.
Good for her.
I feel, you know, personally as someone that has kept a tab on Nicki Minaj's career, this is the best verse that she's delivered to us in quite some time. And it was cute, it was simple, it was short, but I think that, you know, I don't want to take Queen back, but
really
like, I feel like she may be stepping more into taking it seriously. I feel like and I don't know if like Cardi B has put the pressure on her to do that, or like what the situation is, but I feel like Nicki is a bit more serious with approaching these verses and like pushing her pen, you know, which I can appreciate. I think that the fact that she continues to use wordplay around when Remy went on Wendy and was like, "Oh, she's trying to stop my bag. Am I trying to stop my bag?"
Anyway, I'm stopping bags like the TSA.
I just thought it was hilarious.
This bitch is so stupid. But you know what? I've been looking back at some of Nicki's older music, and like I was listening to something this morning, and it just hit me where I'm just like, wow, this bitch is super petty. Like, what was it? Oh, was it Big Daddy when she was like, put my sneakers on. I might have to fuck him in Australia. Now it's just us at the Knicks game. I might have to take him on tour just to fucking Australia, Brisbane. Right. And I'm just like, okay, this was around that time that she was like low key beefing with Iggy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, that nigga play, isn't he a basketball player? And then I'm just like, okay, hold on, this bitch talking slick to Iggy.
She is.
I was like, this bitch is really good with wordplay.
You gotta catch it. You
have to catch it. And that's why she be explaining shit low key, because she be thinking that we stupid as shit. Okay, get it?
Instead of G5, this is the G6.
Okay.
But
it's like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
Yeah, I think she's gonna continue to fucking tug at Remy's tail, just like just to piss her off.
It's just so like, funny.
You're so never gonna be able to stomp out her fire. Like, I mean, and
she's a savage.
Just plain and simple. Like
Remy did what all Geminis do. She released a long ass, emotional ass song. Okay. About fucking Remy, about Nicki, but it's just like, it wasn't. That's why I need to know what her moon sign is, because it wasn't calculated well enough. It just wasn't. It wasn't like. I feel like I'm a bit more reflective than that. I wouldn't just release a song out of nowhere and be like, fuck Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm saying? And then,
that was bold.
It's stupid.
Fuck Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
That shit was
free.
like,
you know what? Fuck that. Free Remy. Free Remy. Free Remy.
No, fuck you.
No, fuck you. Free Remy.
I'm screaming.
Fuck Nicki Minaj. Are you dumb? You are a pink diamond chicken wing chain. Are you dumb?
N.E.R.D. I don't know. Do you pronounce it N.E.R.D. or is it N.E.R.D?
Girl, I just call it the group who put out Lemon with Rihanna.
Okay, so Pharrell has a group.
Yes, and they only
y'all all know Pharrell's group.
Put
out a song with Rihanna with a video that I thought was really fucking dope.
The video was good.
And it's like this.
I didn't like the song.
Super Pharrell. You don't like the song?
I'm just being honest. It's if it comes on, I'll tolerate it, but I'm just like, I'm not like getting my life because I don't know what the fuck is really going on. That's always kind of been my problem with Pharrell, where I feel like he's like artistic almost to a fault, where it's just like, I don't know what's going on here.
It's a very abstract type of sound, and I really just enjoy it because Rihanna's rapping.
That was what caught my attention in the video.
I feel like that's the point of the song. After Rihanna's part, I really want to turn it off, but other than that, I like the production of it. I think it's cute, and I thought the video was really reminiscent of like the Fade video by with
Kanye,
Tiana Taylor with Kanye, because I mean they were dancing differently, but like just like the girl that's not a part of the song, just like dancing throughout the whole video. I felt like that was kind of the same concept, but I do enjoy the song. I am wanting new music from Rihanna at this point, because
she just came out with an album. Y'all not getting no new music.
She didn't really though, because she came out that album in like
2016.
Was it 2016?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was at the end of 2015.
No, it was at the beginning of 2016.
Well, I mean, She could put out another album, and I don't think it would be too soon.
I mean, Rihanna is the type to put out an album every year. We know that. But Anti's aging well.
It definitely is. She doesn't need to by any means, but I think.
And she also has other businesses that she's working on, so I think she's kind of probably like putting music on the back burner for right now.
Because Missy said that they recorded that song a while ago and Pharrell played it for her, and she liked it since then. But I just love Rihanna when she gets to like talking her shit, because like she really is a bad bitch, and if she wanted to like claim the fucking queen of rap crown, I'm sure she could. If she wanted to. People would just give her that simply because she is Rihanna, and you know Rihanna can have what she wants. Sure. Let's see what else I have. So the 21 Savage and Offset tape is bumping.
Okay, sure.
I'll
take your word for that.
You know, sometimes I enjoy a good...
I don't like 21 Savage.
That's fair. Sometimes I do enjoy a good homophobic thumping ass trap record. Like, you know, how can you not? The Metro Boomin beats, I feel like they just stick for some reason. Like, and I know it's this really kind of like refined theme in hip hop and just kind of like trap music. Like Metro Boomin is like really a staple in this sound at this point, but he continues to like crank out beats that are kind of like, I don't want to say different versions of another, but they're all similar in some way, but it's a mood to me. And Offset is really like my favorite Migo. Like, I feel like Offset is kind of like the Kelly Rowland of Migos. And
yeah, even though you know Quavo has all the attention,
right?
You're kind of like, I low key like Offset more.
Yeah. I feel like he can make better.
I feel like I always thought that way about Kelly Rowland and Destiny's Child.
Okay.
I always thought that she could make better music, but then Beyonce came out with her first album after Kelly came out with hers, and I was just like, nope, Beyonce took the cake because Kelly's first album wasn't good. Wasn't as good as Beyonce's.
That's a shame. I feel like that set the trajectory of the rest of her career.
It did.
But
it did.
You know,
that's the real of it.
Whatever. You know, I like my favorite records off of that tape, Ric Flair Drip, My Chopper Hate Niggas. I fucking love that song. I love Matt Stalker's. And really the whole tape, if you just are in a grimy ass mood, like throw that bitch on. Like if you got some 808s, you know what I'm saying? Like if you got a in-depth speaker system, like hold on to your wig, because it will be vibrating upon your scalp. I don't know if there is anything else in my
repertoire.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on listening to the Jaden Smith album.
Me too.
That came out because
that's on the docket.
I've liked shit that he's done in the past with Willow. So
yeah,
Jaden Smith is somebody that
I have my eye on.
Yeah. I feel like it's about time for him to make his presence in the industry. He's been kind of doing some little shit on the side, doing a lot of SoundCloud work, and I feel like your mom and dad is Will and Jada. Like, it's time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Willow just came out with her album, which is, I don't know. That's what I like about them, is because I feel like they're so in sync. And they're not twins, but I feel like they're twins in a way. They have like this telepathic, like, we're on the same wave of like, we're both about to drop an album, about to fucking make a move, you know? Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely listen to that. What do you got?
On my docket, recently, I've been listening to a lot of Kehlani.
Of course.
She's released 2 singles. Honey is obviously really good, and Already One is kind of like low-key my bop, like right now. But I will say, Kehlani said that her next album is going to be completely slated on her relationship with like her girlfriend. It's going to be completely like gay focused. She says she's over with niggas because like they don't deserve it. And I'm just like, I'm down for that. I feel like Kehlani is the artist, you know, that could do that right now. So I'm souped about that. I've been listening to the Insecure soundtrack a lot for season 2.
That is soundtrack right there.
Yeah, it's making a comeback in my life. A lot of Jasmine Sullivan and Bryson Tiller. I've been listening to that song like every day. I've been listening to. I recently transferred all of my like old songs that I loved from SoundCloud to my phone. Because I hate the SoundCloud app, low key. Probably shouldn't say that because it's going to be annoying. But it's okay. But I've been listening to a lot of Mykki Blanco. I love the Macy Rodman flow. So if you ever get a chance, just listen to that.
You have to send it to me. I don't think I've heard of...
Have you ever heard of Mykki Blanco?
No.
You never heard of Wavy?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll send you Wavy first.
What is it like?
It's very, they're like a queer rapper. They're very like, out there, you know, like their music it's good though. I like it. It's like comical. This was just a freestyle and I loved it. And then I've been listening to a lot of Princess Nokia.
I have not got into her yet, but I know who she is.
Yeah, she has some very good songs. So I've been listening to Versace Hottie, which is like her like her runway icon. She makes great runway music, which is really cute. You know, I love female rappers who are like, play this song, throw in a fur coat, and own the fucking sidewalk. Like that's what I love. Okay. So she has a song called Versace Hottie, which is like, I've been listening to that since I was in high school, like a freshman. And then also the song called Vicky Gotti, which is really fucking good. Maliibu Mitch is on my radar always.
Maliibu
Mitch. Guapamole is a iconic song to me.
Okay, I like Guapamole. I can't act like I don't like Guapamole.
Her flow is very good. I love her. I have always respected her flow. She just came out with her first mixtape. No, it was her first. It's probably her best.
I'm assuming she's from Malibu?
No, she is from New York. Oh. I think she's from the Bronx.
Okay.
But she just released a EP, it was over the summer, that she released this EP called Maliibu Mitch Top 5, where she just recorded her own interpretations of very popular songs. So she does Lauryn Hill, Lil' Kim, Foxy.
Is she the one that has the crush on you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's her.
Yeah. She's very gifted, like, flow-wise. Her flows are very beautiful. Okay. Very old school. Even on Guapamole, I feel like you gotta taste of that. But, so yeah, I've been listening to Jhene Aiko's album again. Yeah, that's a lot of old stuff.
That's aging well.
Yeah, it is. Especially that Never Call Me song.
Oh,
that song came on the other day, and I was in the shower, and I just started crying because I was just like, wow. And then like the recording at the end with Corrupt, like
that's some heartfelt ass shit.
That shit really like.
I played that song in front of both of my parents, and they were like, "Damn." Yeah. I was like, they was like, "Who the fuck is this?" I'm like,
I love that song, and like every time that song comes on, I'm just like, I wish I had friends like this. Like, it really makes you wish that you had friends that would like call you and tell you like it's okay. Like when you be going through some shit, like, and it's like I'm not gonna answer the phone, you know, but leave me. Like I've never had a friend actually leave me like a voicemail message. No, I've had my parents leave me a voicemail message. There was a situation that happened in high school, sophomore year at City. And it was really bad. And, like, I was not answering my phone. It was, like, during the school day. And my parents left me a message, and I still have the messages. Like, it's those things that, like, really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, down the road.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, it's just, that's really, like, it was fucking beautiful. You know, like, that was really, I just love that song so much. And then I'm getting into Sabrina Claudio's first EP.
Okay.
Her first EP was a lot less heavy than this one. She has one song on there called Too Much, Too Late. Sorry, Too Little, Too Late was a JoJo song, right?
Yes.
Too Much, Too Late is about...
It's still very, very hard for me to... Like, there's one song by Sabrina Claudio that I can listen to.
Which one? I Want to Know? Belong to You?
Belong to You. Yeah. It is, yeah.
Well, Too Much, Too Late is a really cute song. Like, I actually really love the song. And it's just, I mean, I've mainly been focusing on my own music lately, which is kind of interesting. But
well, I'm excited for that.
Sure. I just need to really like focus on it and like actually do it.
Is there any other news or announcements that you?
No.
I just wanted to. Okay, so before we forget, so we want to start doing. We want to increase the engagement with the listeners on the show. So make sure that if you have any questions, seeking advice, any questions about anything in pop culture, we want to hear our opinions on any specific topics. You can email us at theawfulawfulpodcast@gmail.com.
You can keep it anonymous. You know, you can
also comment on the SoundCloud episode, and we will look at the SoundCloud episode comments and take those into consideration when recording our next episode. So yeah, we've been seeing y'all see us, and we see y'all too. So
we see each other.
Get at us, you know what I'm saying? We really want to interact with the people that are listening to the show, so don't be afraid to hit us up. We don't bite.
At least not hard.
Other than that, I don't think that there is.
No, I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say personally, like for me, I know you said at the beginning of the show, but I really do appreciate everyone who has been supporting. There are people, like, even in my life, like my friends who, a select few of my friends who have been very supportive, and it means a great deal to me.
Definitely.
Anytime you support a creative endeavor for your friends, it's like, you're a dope bitch. So I just appreciate everyone who's retweeting, everyone who is, it's just like really trying to be engaged with us. I appreciate that.
All right, so I think we're going to get out of here and we will see y'all next time.
All right, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.